Visa reported net revenues of $7.2 billion for its fiscal second quarter as payments volume increased 17% year over year. For more on the state of consumer and business transactions, we've got Visa CFO Vasant Prabhu joining us now. Thanks for the time. We certainly do appreciate it. Just want to dive into some of the results here, as we had been mentioning for our viewers a moment ago. When I take a look at these results, particularly thinking about the consumers, very solid growth in most countries around the globe, revenue growth of over 20% in consumer payments. Based on what you've seen in the data, as we think about the state of the consumer, are individuals and businesses positioned to outlast the inflationary environment right now?
Well, all the indications are, as you saw in our numbers, that the consumer is spending as they have been very consistently for the last 3 or 4 quarters. There's a lot of noise when you look at the numbers compared to last year. There were stimulus payments, there were COVID shutdowns in some places, recoveries that we're lapping in other places. So we like to compare it to 2019 pre-COVID levels. And on that basis, it was a very solid and stable quarter. We've been indexing at 140, in the 140s, more than 40% above 2019 levels in the US, similar levels in the international markets. And just about everywhere, things have been very stable for the last few quarters. There's no indication that inflation, supply chain disruptions, the war in Ukraine have been impacting consumer spending, at least all the way through the first 3 weeks of April.
On the B2B front, business-to-business, corporate card transactions on purchase orders and travel, I wonder, and I imagine that you may have some valuable insight as to where we are seeing the level of corporate spending right now returning to the broader payment volume.
In fact, we're seeing a big recovery in B2B spending. We are the largest issuer of commercial cards. These are corporate cards, P cards, etc., purchasing cards, and so on. And we've seen small business recover very fast first, and now large and medium-sized businesses are recovering. And in fact, if you look at the trajectory of recovery, it's not that different than the consumer recovery. Started a little slower, a little later, but now it's really picking up steam. We're also seeing business travel return. Business travel started recovering later than consumer travel. But once again, the trajectory of recovery is very much the same as consumer travel. So all the indications are that business spending and business travel are coming back as you would expect as things normalize.
Got it. Okay, and so then going forward from here, when you think about the broader space, I mean, any interest in cryptocurrency payments? Have you seen that grow? And I mean, as we've certainly been tracking it here, where do you anticipate that this will drive further opportunity in the Visa Global Crypto Advisory practice as we were listening into the conference call? And what's the best way for us to think about this as a quantified potential in the future?
Sure. I mean, we are already playing in crypto. So we are the most popular on-ramp and the most popular off-ramp. Let me explain what I mean by that. Whenever anybody wants to buy crypto, they most often use a Visa credential when they buy it at Coinbase or Crypto.com and so on. And that's been a steady business and a sizable business for quite a while now, many quarters. We're also an off-ramp because many of these platforms will issue Visa credentials to you. Crypto.com will give you a Visa card that is usable at all our merchants around the world, 100 million merchants almost. And you can use your crypto account to buy things. And what they will do is they will do the conversion back to dollars, euros, pounds, and so on. So we're already playing in that space, and that volume of people using their crypto accounts to buy things has been growing very nicely. Beyond that, we're also beginning to participate in what we call the stablecoin space. So we are working with USDC, which is probably the most popular stablecoin, on accepting it, on settling with it. Those are all early experiments. We're looking at central bank digital currencies around the world. And as you said, with our consulting practice, the advisory practice, we're helping traditional financial institutions, central banks, a whole range of constituents understand cryptocurrencies and the whole world of crypto and figure out what they should do. There's multiple ways in which we can participate. We're a network of networks. We see blockchains as another network, and we will participate across the crypto world in a variety of different ways.
So just briefly on that thought, Visa has a history of building out solutions both in-house and externally looking for acquisitions. But are there acquisitions in the digital currency or blockchain space where you foresee it being more viable as opposed to ramping up an in-house solution?
Well, we'll consider acquisitions, of course. We haven't done any in the crypto space at this point. We are building out capabilities. We have built out the capability to allow, for example, a traditional financial institution to offer you a crypto account like a crypto platform might. We have the capability to allow a financial institution to deliver rewards to you in crypto if that's what they choose to do. We have developed the capability to custody crypto with a partner, to accept stable coins as a settlement currency. We'll continue to look at other things we can do in the crypto space. And if it's faster and cheaper to buy rather than build, or we can get a team of people that we think is high quality, we would certainly consider acquisitions. We do those, fairly regularly in other parts of our business. We just closed on Currency Cloud. We just closed on Tink in the open banking business. And we'll look at crypto acquisitions too over time.
On the cash displacement rate, this also means partnerships beyond merchants accepting Visa products, but even into peer-to-peer transactions platforms, PayPal, for instance. To what extent have you seen user growth acceleration or alternatively deceleration of user growth on those platforms trickle through to Visa's growth prospects? And I only have a second here.
Yeah, I mean, they're all our partners. Our job is to move money any way people want to move them. We work with all the wallets. We work with all the platforms. That's a growing business for us. It's a win-win. We allow them to scale. We grow with them. And we'll continue to do that. It's a great growth opportunity for all parties involved.